Face to Face on ChannelOne TV today is coming to you from Parliament House, and for good reason. The House is back from recess. Everything happens here, really. If there's law that has to bind you and I, it has to be made by the lawmakers. And if the lawmakers have to sit in the chamber to make the law, someone has to whip them to come and sit down. Not literally, but I don't know how they do that whipping. So that's why we have come today to talk to the Chief Whip on the majority side, who you can actually even say the Chief Whip of the House, on how Parliament has started, what the major bills are in this particular sitting. I'm Rockson-Nelson Dafeamekpor, and you're welcome to Face to Face. Honorable Nelson Rockson-Nelson Dafeamekpor, I think I've mixed up the name, is the majority chief whip. How are you?
Very well.
Is it Rockson before Nelson or Nelson before Rockson?
Well, the sequence doesn't matter.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. But so Rockson-Nelson is fine. Nelson-Rockson is fine.
And where do I put the H?
Either before Kwame or after Kwame.
I didn't add that one, sir.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
Well, I'm well.
You're looking very refreshed, as if there's no problem in life.
You have no idea. You have no idea. Yesterday we got busy with Hajj arrangements, and so
Hajj.
Hajj, yes.
What's Parliament's connection with Hajj?
Well, you know, members come from all over the constituencies. They want to attend Hajj. You need to take them through visa processing and arrangements, and those become the burden of the MP. Because if your constituency is here to go through those processes in order to embark on the pilgrimage, and you, the MP, you are missing, you'll be in trouble.
How big a Muslim community do you have in your constituency?
I have, the largest is in Germany. I have about 5,000 Muslim population.
Wow.
So I have a Makaranta in Germany and Swania. I have a Muslim community in Peve, which is the district capital. Then I have a Muslim community in Peki. So they have their mosque nearly opposite the district magistrate courts at Peki Jogbati. So the largest Muslim community is in the Tongo area. They are mainly in the Tongo, Germany.
And you also,
it's huge.
Apart from doing for your own constituency, you also have to help other MPs,
yes,
because
yes,
you are like
you know, the Muslim community decides. I think they have a way of collecting the names, so who are to attend the Hajj. So they come all over, and all over means they hail from one constituency or the other. So MPs are connected, heavily connected. Wherever MPs' interests are connected or concerned, you, the chief whip, you are connected, heavily connected. So you need to be there and ensure that arrangements went well.
But the Hajj process is a private affair. I decide I
It's
want to
not
go
a
to
private
Hajj.
affair.
I have money. I find an agent, pay to the Hajj board, and I'm gone.
It's moved beyond a private affair. It's become a huge public matter. That is why there's a whole statutory body set up to do this. That's the Hajj board. And that should tell you that it's not a private affair at all. Anything that affects Hajj affects the health of the nation. Believe you me. If our Hajj arrangements are not done properly, the entire country will be affected.
But the argument is made that when Akufo-Addo was president and he was putting up a cathedral, one of the attacks against him was that he was putting government in the religious space. Let religion play its role, let government play its role. Why should this government then be so fixated on Hajj affairs, which is a religious matter, to the extent that there's even going to be a Hajj village constructed at the airport?
This government didn't introduce Hajj arrangements. It actually inherited it. So those arguments are neither here nor there. In any case, then we must as well say that then the concept of free SHS, because we have Islamic schools that are also benefiting from free SHS, so they should not be, we should abandon or we should take out those schools, religious connected schools. We have college schools that benefit from the free SHS concept. So stricto sensu, that is not the kind of argument you can make in this case, because the Hajj, Umaru Sanda, believe you me, it's not merely a religious affair. It's become a socio-religious political matter.
But
it has a direct connection with our relationship with Saudi Arabia. How we manage how we prepare them before they enter, how they are managed there, and they go through the rituals and return home. It's so a matter of, it's governed by bilateral arrangements now.
But how does, or why does government pay the Hajj fare for people to go? Why should government be spending money on that?
Why shouldn't government do it?
Because people want to go to Hajj. It's a religious duty, but it is the last of the 5 pillars of Islam. And it is only when you have the means.
It's a social intervention. It's a social intervention. You see, peace is not only about, or the concept of peace, having religious harmony and satisfaction is very cardinal to and central to ensuring peace. If a group of people want to go on this pilgrimage to Mecca and they are economically unable to do, and they agitate, some instability can be. So the whole concept of peace, I see a peaceful arrangement of Hajj pilgrimage going and coming has been central to it. It's extremely important.
So government should sponsor people?
Government,
or facilitate?
So government decision, not this government alone. Government as the decision by the state. Let me lay government out. The decision by the state to fund this is such a major social intervention policy that I will defend anywhere.
But what will be the nature of the funding? That's what I'm asking. Because I'm saying that I'm a Muslim. I know that if I want to go to Hajj, I raise money. It's a 5th pillar. If I have the ability, I go. It is not obligatory. Why should I go to government? And the issue is that often government gives it to party members, foot soldiers. Why should government be using our money for the state?
Government giving it to party members, foot soldiers, I don't know about that, but I know that Hajj, even when we were kids, when we were young in Lagos town, they have always been Hajj pilgrimage, and the state has always been contributing. Those days it was Ghana Airways. So they were traveling on Ghana Airways to Jeddah and Mecca, Medina.
Yes.
And now Mecca. So it's a policy that all succeeding governments have seen fit to
continue with.
So should the state because of its socio-religious and cultural value.
Should the state then be sponsoring Christian pilgrims or people who want to go to Israel to go on a pilgrimage?
But who says that if they want to go, they don't solicit for support? The state may not have a central fund set aside, but they do seek support. Statutory bodies support people when they do that. I've seen evidence of people being supported to travel to Israel and back.
I have been to the US and they often remind you of the separation between state and faith. Where do we draw the line and say that let the state do state work and let faith people do their faith?
It's theoretical.
It's not practical.
It's not practical. And I'll demonstrate. For every state function, there's a prayer set. How do you separate state from faith? If you see the importance of prayer in matters of state. So they're inseparable. So it's important that you see the importance of the role that faith plays in matters of or affairs of state. And harmonize it to the benefit of the stability of state. So where we have stability in terms of matters of state and religion, the state blossoms, it flourishes.
So what I can say to you in the light of this, and we can wrap up this conversation, is that there are a lot of Muslims who want to go to Hajj. They have their own money, but they are prevented because of the acquisition of a passport and all of those things. Because someone at the passport office decides that based on a person's name, they don't belong, so they may not even offer them a passport. And I'm sure some of these complaints will be coming to you.
I've encountered, I won't let you finish. I've encountered this, and I've taken serious issues with the officers who were in the center of it, the matters have been resolved. But it tells me that if at this level we have to take interventions from people like me, that means what about the people in my constituency or region, Volta region, who walk to the passport office in who and they will be treated this way. So we need education. Look, there are some names you will see. People, I don't know why people think that this name sounds un-Ghanaian. There's nothing like that. Because if you read history, then you know that when you go to Ivory Coast, there are more account sounding names than sometimes you can
even at the airport. It says Akwaba.
Yes, you know, and so if such a person, if an Ivorian gets, I say your name doesn't sound like an Ivorian, what sort of name would that be? If you go to Togo, you have more Ewe sounding names in Togo than you can find in Ghana. So somebody will say, okay, your name doesn't sound like Togolese. So those are pedestrian arguments that the uninformed want to wage.
This is Face to Face on ChannelOne Television. I'm Omar Sandam, and my guest is the Majority Chief Whip and Member of Parliament for South Dai, the Honorable Rockson-Nelson Dafeamekpor. You have been in the news because they say Rockson wants to collapse GBA. Rockson is forming a new association of lawyers. Rockson has formed a new association of lawyers. Rockson is collapsing Ghana School of Law. Rockson is rocking the boat. What is this new legal education bill that you are championing, which has got so many people talking?
Now, I first wanted to read law sometime in 97 when I left sixth form when we finished. If you remember that time.
No, I was 10 years old. I'm not sure I remember.
The cutoff was, I believe, at grade 6.
Okay.
That I was only in the Faculty of Law, as it was called then. I had at grade 7. So
you missed it?
Yeah, I missed it.
By 1 mark, 1 point.
So I ended up reading philosophy, English, I think drama. But because I couldn't get law, I couldn't stay. So I left University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast. You know, those days, University of Ghana will reopen first. And then Tech will follow. And then Cape Coast. So Cape Coast reopened around, they're going to reopen around August. And then Cape Coast reopened around October. So he called and they asked that we should come and read tourism. That time tourism was in vogue.
Tourism
was invoked. You know, those were the days of Minister Maigizo and
my MP.
Yes, Minister Maigizo and this man, his deputy was Uriko Mufa. They wowed us at the time, and so we took the opportunity to go read tourism. And
you studied tourism?
Yes, my first
at UCC.
Yes, my first. We're the first.
You abandoned philosophy and
yes.
and those things.
So we're the first batch, but I had always been somebody interested in
law,
in literature, and those things. So we came out. So I went into travel and tour. I did travel and tour for like 4 years. Then, but the desire for law, it never
was burning.
Never, it didn't go away. Never went away. So, 2005, we entered the Faculty of Law. So in 2007, we did the post first degree LLB, 2 years. And once you were passed, we just walked chest out to Mokola and began life as professional law students.
This was what, 2007?
This is 2007, as recently as 2007.
Just 19 years ago.
Yes. There
was no entrance exams.
No entrance exams.
So you finished LLB at...
And then you walked in. In fact, if I could tell you what happened, because I was busy, I was working, I was a travel agent, I was very busy, always traveling. Look, Auntie Edna, I remember that's her name. Auntie Edna was like the registrar's clerk or sort of. Auntie Edna called me over 10 times, you know, to come for my admission. And so eventually I went to pick my...
At the Ghana School of Law?
Ghana School of Law.
The same Ghana School of Law?
She was chasing me. No, Auntie Evelyn. Yes, okay. That was her name, Auntie Evelyn. Chasing me, chase me. all over. Eventually, I want to pick it up, and life began with my mates. But
who were some of your mates, just by the way?
Clement Akapam,
okay,
Professor Akapam,
yeah,
Clement, John Dako,
okay,
Apenyo Makin,
oh,
Yabuama, Honorable
Patrick.
Yabuama, and Rizraka, Raymond Donyo, Clara Berry.
So
she taught our class.
So you were called in 2009.
2009. You know, so, but you see, the election petition 2012-2013, it was like some scale fell off the eyes of nearly every school-going Ghanaian, or every Ghanaian who was capable of going back to school, because of the issues in the court, how the trial tournament went.
The legal jargon.
Yes, so the desire to read law heightened. Now, as law school, you needed to respond to the overwhelming desire by people. So you respond by increasing space.
Building structures.
Expanding. They didn't. They decided to introduce a policy of one, introducing an entrance exams, and two, an interview. So you could pass the interview, you could pass the entrance exam, you go to the interview stage, they ask you, do you have a lawyer in your family? If you said no, those were the end, of a lot of people. So this led to a lot of petitions to Parliament, and then entered Parliament. So the agitations began. And one of the key things we succeeded in doing was to get the interview stage eliminated. But it didn't end there. It also led to a lot of corruption in the admission process, to the extent that, if you recall, the General Legal Council had to set up another committee, the
independent examination.
Yeah, the General Legal Council, as the regulator of legal education in this country, had to set up another committee to look into the complaints of corruption in the admission process. It was established that as many as 21, but the record says 11, it's fine. As many as 11 students actually got admitted to the law school without writing exams. Like, they used the back door.
Wow.
We were told children of judges and ministers of state and all. So I wouldn't have it. So I agitated as a young MP. I actually introduced a private members bill. So when I finished my first term and Sosu came to join me, Sosu had entered the 8th Parliament, we kind of got together and actually introduced a private members bill. But it didn't see the light of day because we were frustrated practically. But the idea didn't die. So I agitated. I kept writing. I kept speaking. Look, there's no idea like too many lawyers. When I hear people say that, I flinch. Because you see, a lawyer is not merely a lawyer. A lawyer is an economic resource. A lawyer is capable of employing other lawyers in a firm.
And non-lawyers.
A lawyer is capable of generating wealth or creating wealth. So when you have lawyers, the opportunity for them to generate employment at that level, at that professional level, is huge. In any case, we keep opening courts, expanding access to justice delivery. You need more lawyers to be able to, reach out to people who are involved in the issues of administration of cases and justice delivery. So eventually my party bought into the idea and included it in its manifesto. And so, boom, this is where we are.
This was a manifesto promise.
Yes.
The legal education thing was a manifesto promise.
Yes.
This is face-to-face on ChannelOne television. What I'll do is that I will now ask about the details So is it a private member's bill that is currently there, or is it a government-sponsored bill? And what are the details, and what is going to happen to the Ghana School of Law? I'll ask him these questions when we come back. Please stay.